Every time I go out, I get called 美女. At first, I thought being called 美女 was kind of a compliment. But one time, I ordered food through a delivery app. Later, the restaurant called to tell me that one of the dishes was sold out. When I answered the phone and just said, 喂, the staff member immediately said, 你好, 美女. So she only heard my voice, but still called me 美女. I even wondered, maybe my profile photo is a beautiful picture. So I checked it, but it is actually a cartoon dog. So calling me 美女 is a conditioned, automatic response. In many parts of China, it feels like almost everyone on the street gets called 帅哥 or 美女. Today we are going to explore these two popular words. Let's dig into their real meanings, why they are used so widely, how they have developed beyond their original meanings, and what they reflect about Chinese culture and social interactions. If you translate them directly from textbooks or translation apps, 美 becomes beautiful and 帅 means handsome. This isn't wrong, but is incomplete. The original meaning of 帅 actually refers to a military leader or general. So when it's used to describe a person, it doesn't only mean good-looking. It also carries a sense of strength, charisma, and a strong male presence. As for 美, it's translated as beautiful, but in the HSK1 textbook, learners first meet the word 漂亮, which also means beautiful or pretty. 漂亮 is very visual and direct. It describes something that simply looks good. For example, 她很漂亮. 这条裙子很漂亮. But 美 is different. Its meaning is broader, more abstract, and more artistic. It doesn't only describe appearance, but also inner qualities, such as personality, soul, temperament, elegance, or style. Both 帅 and 美 are actually quite powerful compliments. In everyday spoken Chinese, as long as you are roughly between 18 and 50 years old, or even just look young and neatly dressed, you can instantly be called 帅哥 or 美女 by service staff or even strangers. At the same time, it's important to remember that beauty is actually very diverse. Everyone has their own special kind of beauty. But when people use these terms on complete strangers without knowing anything about them, the terms can sometimes feel a bit superficial or like a shortcut label. So why do Chinese people do this? If you are a waiter, salesperson, delivery driver, or just a stranger, in everyday interactions, you usually don't know the other person's name, age, job, or marital status. In that case, 美女 and 帅哥 become the easiest safe option. They grab attention quickly, keep the interaction light, and make communication smoother and more efficient. From a practical perspective, it's about efficiency. It's also a simple social strategy. Imagine you are on the street and want someone to move aside. You might say 美女 or 帅哥, 麻烦让一下. Here, 美女 and 帅哥 are not really about appearance. They are a simple way to get someone's attention and make communication easier. The other person thinks, okay, that sounds polite enough. So they are more willing to cooperate. Everything goes smoothly and the interaction doesn't feel awkward. In most everyday informal situations, it works really well. Of course, like any social habit, not everyone reacts to it in the same way. Some people take it as a compliment or appreciate the kindness behind it. And it genuinely improves their mood. Even if they know it's just a politeness, it can still make them feel good. But others may find it uncomfortable. They may think these words focus too much on appearance, or that they sound too casual or insincere. Also, when a male stranger calls a woman 美女 in certain situations, it can sometimes feel a bit flirty or like a superficial form of attention. However, when female speakers use it among each other, especially older women calling younger ones 美女. It is usually not offensive at all. Nowadays, people have developed a kind of automatic response. When they hear 美女 or 帅哥, their first reaction is no longer, oh, I'm beautiful or handsome, but rather, oh, someone is calling me. I had a funny experience. One day, I walked out of a shop, and a staff member ran after me, shouting, 美女, 美女. I thought I had left something behind, so I quickly turned around, but she walked straight past me and gave something to another girl. The funny part was, I didn't feel that embarrassed, because I saw several other girls also turning around at the same time. It's very common to address people as 帅哥 and 美女 in certain settings, such as restaurants, supermarkets, night markets, and shopping malls. But they are not universal. If a person is a leader, expert, professor, or someone in a professional position, this kind of address is not suitable. In high-end environments, it is also rarely used because it may sound too casual or unprofessional. For example, luxury stores, five-star hotels, high-end clubs, or private banks. In these places, staff usually prefer to say 女士, 先生, or simply 您好. It's a way of using language to match different service settings and customer expectations. Next, let me share a personal experience. Many years ago, I worked as a jewelry sales assistant in a designer brand store. There was an older Chinese customer who always called me 小美女. Even though I knew she did it mostly for convenience, she didn't need to remember my name, and that 美女 is already a very generalized social term. Adding the word 小 changed the feeling in some way. It sounds warmer and more personal. Here, 小 implies a younger age, but more importantly, it adds a sense of kindness, like an older person speaking gently to a younger one. She also always had a very friendly smile, and that made me feel genuinely happy and at ease when serving her. I think sometimes a person's attitude and smile are more powerful than words. Any kind of address term, when it becomes overly generalized, starts to lose its meaning. Today, 美女 and 帅哥 are so commonly used that Chinese people often hear them simply as polite ways of getting someone's attention rather than compliments. Similarly, in some English-speaking countries, people sometimes call strangers love or sweetie. I think these words can feel warm and friendly in some contexts, but in others, they may simply function as casual terms of address rather than literal expressions of affection. What do you think about that? If you come to China and someone calls you 帅哥 or 美女, would you feel happy or a little awkward? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.